Hello everyone, welcome back to Skyrim Legendary Edition. Today we are going to be reviewing some different types of mods. So when it comes to Skyrim LE, it's a bit difficult to find mods that are all based around the same theme. So mostly it's because of everyone officially moving to Skyrim Special Edition and just dropping LE altogether. So I'm still here though because I love playing at a stable 60 frames per second. So the first mod is something that most of you may have heard of or even have already, and this mod is called Simply Knock. This will allow you to go up to doors of a building and knock as a way to gain entry. You can do this after, store hours are closed and during times in which you normally could not enter the place. So you should get a prompt asking if you want to knock, pick the lock, or just cancel altogether. So, when knocking on the door while someone is inside, you'll get an answer like, they'll say hello, or who is it, who's there, somewhere along that line. And after that, you can ask, may I come inside? The NPC will then tell you either yes or no. If they tell you no, you can then persuade them or threaten them to try and gain entry. To make it even better, there is an MCM with some settings that you can change. So in this MCM, I usually like to choose to have the lockout timer to a minimum to reduce the time of scripts lingering. Overall, I'm going to say that this is a great mod. It's one of those mods that I actually love. It's one of those great quality of life mods that, like I said, everyone has, and it feels like it's a feature that should have been in the game already. So I definitely love this mod, and it's a keeper for me. Next is Sausages of Solitude. This will add a vendor in the city named Erectus Mentula. I feel like something about his name is a joke and it's just going right over my head because I don't understand. So Erectus will be at a food cart. His location is in a city, but it'll be different depending on if you use the normal version or the Dawn of Skyrim patch. In this video, I have Dawn of Skyrim, so his cart is closer towards the Hall of the Dead as opposed to being in the marketplace. I don't remember the last time I had a hot dog IRL, but I kind of want to get one after seeing this mod. They all look delicious. I'm not exactly sure what's the size of the textures that they used on this, but they look really, really good. I actually enjoy the models and the textures on these foods. They look really good. So this mod is from the same author that made the Burger Y'all mod, and I like this mod. I don't care if it's lore breaking or anything like that, but I would love to have the dishes that this vendor sells be a bit more useful and more longer lasting. So for example, like if they would do something like increase your carry weight, or make it so that you heal your health and stamina and magic faster, things like that. Something that can make it actually more useful as opposed to just giving you back like 15% HP or 15 points of HP, I should say. So like I said a bunch of times already, I like this mod. I will use some of the assets in the future if I have time, because the author does make it so that you can use the assets from this mod as long as you give them credit. So I really thank them for that. Go check out this mod as well as the Burger Y'all mod that this author made. And with that being said, I am going to keep this mod. So next up is the Solitude Skyway by Eartho. This mod is a slight land overhaul, adding some steps and an elevated pathway for those who want to cross the river heading towards Morthal without getting wet. This is also good for people who used Frostfall and mods that make it more realistic so you can't go into the freezing water without killing yourself. So the path starts just after crossing the Eastern Empire Company trading bridge, and it's a bit of a climb, and it's also dark because of the shade from the nearby mountains. On your way up, you will see guards that are dressed in standard equipment. They will not be affected by mods that change guards or like overhauls your Solitude guards. These guards are called Haafingar guards. So you can tell the difference between them and your standard Solitude guards. There are a few idle markers placed throughout the pathways and along the elevated path and the stairs to make NPCs act more natural. So the entire place, to my knowledge, is nav meshed. I haven't had any problems with the nav meshing. I even brought a follower along to see if they would have any problems, and they were moving around just fine. So when you get to the top of this structure, there is a bar slash restaurant with a vendor that will sell you some food. There is also some food on display on the tables, but it's owned. This is one of those underrated mods that just sadly goes under the radar without nobody really knowing about it. I think that this mod is very convenient, is very stable, and it's very compatible. The only mod that I can think of that may conflict with this mod is the Airship Dev Visa. If I may give some constructive criticism and some tips on what I think the author should do with this mod, I would say that it needs a bit more lighting in the shaded areas when you're heading up the stairs, and there was also a lack of NPCs. From what I remember, there were only guards and that one vendor at the top. So I think there should have been more NPCs walking by and sandboxing at the top, sitting down and eating. So other than that, I think the mod is great. I like it. I'm going to use it for future playthroughs, and I recommend that you yourself try it out. Next, we have cloth mannequins. This is a simple texture replacer for the mannequins, giving them a cloth texture as opposed to the default wood texture. These look great and they really pop out to me. The quality is top notch, and it makes me question my walls as I see them next to these high quality mannequins. The texture size is only 1K, which is the same as the original, and it just further proves my point of why I don't like to go high in the texture quality, because these 1K textures are working just fine. So kudos to the author for not making 4K mannequins, because we definitely don't need that BS. So, the person who made this is Henai C. So I hope I'm pronouncing that right. So thank you for making this mod, and it's also plugin free, so it's safe to install and uninstall at any time. So I think overall all of these mods are great, and I either already have them or I'm going to add them to the list. Let me know what you think about these mods and your experiences with them, because I would really like to hear what you have to say. We have reached the end of this video, and I thank you all for tuning in if you're still here. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing so you can get notified of when I upload, and it also helps me out greatly. So be safe all of you, and I will see you all in the next video.